Composition of soil. Here, the different components of soils are rock or soil particles of different sizes, humus, organic matter, soil water, soil air, soil organisms, the soil water containing various inorganic salts. Here they have given the table at first for soil particles and soil types. Gravel or stones above 2 mm, sand 0.05 to 2 mm, silt and clay below 0.05 mm. Now we are going to see different types of soil: sandy, clayey, loamy soil. At first, sandy soils. Here the soils having high percentage of bigger particles like sand particles about 70 to 80% are called as sandy soils. Look at this. This is called sandy soils. And then next one, loamy soil. Loamy soils are soils having mixture of different size of particles. Big and fine are called as loamy soils. And then last one, clayey soil. Here the soils having high percentage of fine particles. Here I don't get the clay soil, so just I have shown here the artificial clay. It is similar as like natural clay soil. Here this consists of only high percentage of fine particles, that is called as clayey soil. At first, sandy soil, this is highly porous, have large spaces for air, and it lacks humus and not hold much water. It is light, dry and not suitable for growth. Example, xerophytic plants like cacti only can grow on the sandy soils. Next one, clayey soil. Here it has no pores, no porous, that means no porous, so no air or only little air, and it is tightly packed and holds enough water and some humus also present, and this type of soil is able to support plant growth. Next one, loamy soil. Here already I told about loamy soil. The soil with different sized particles, smaller and larger particles, are called as loamy soils. Here the loamy soils are best for the plant growth because it contains the humus. It provides the fertility to the soil and holds sufficient water due to the presence of smaller particles, and contains enough air due to the presence of some large particles also. And this permits the root of the plants to grow and absorb water and minerals from the soil. Next heading, humus. Already we know about humus. Humus is an organic matter. It is formed because of the remains of the dead plants and animals by the activity of microorganisms present in the soil. Next, soil water. Soil water, that means the moisture which present in the soil, that is called a soil water. Here the soil hold the water that depends upon the texture of the soil. What is meant by texture? The feel or appearance of the soil is called as the texture. The water holding capacity of the soil depends upon the texture of the soil. Here some water goes down the particles due to force of gravity. This water is called as gravitational water, and some water which is present between the soil particles due to capillary action, that is called capillary water. What is meant by capillary action? Because we all know about gravitational force. What is meant by capillary action? Here capillary action means, for example, take a glass tumbler or a beaker with water, just dip your piece of cloth or just dip a handkerchief, it will start to get wet from the tip and it rises upwards opposite to the gravitational force. This action is called as capillary action, and the water which present between the soil particles due to the capillary action is called as capillary water, and that water is available to the plant roots for absorption. Next one, absorption of water by soil. Here we all know that clayey soil absorbs and retains more water because of their fine particles, whereas in sandy soil it has pores and it can hold, the water holding capacity is very low when compared to clayey soil. Soil air. Here in sandy soils are highly porous and lots of large spaces and air are present due to the presence of large particles, whereas in clayey soil it has very little air in between the particles, which are much smaller and tightly packed. Here the soil air helps the plant roots to get respire and for the soil organism to respire. Soil air affects the drainage of the soil. Drainage means drying up of the soil. For example, sandy soils drier than clayey ones because of larger particles present in sandy soils, whereas fine particles present in clayey soil. Next one, soil organism. Here the organisms like earthworm, microorganisms and roundworms are present on the soil. Here the earthworm burrow, swallow and lose the soil and make the soil soft, and the microorganism which present in the soil acts on the dead plants and animals and decay it, destroy it, that means decaying it, and adds the minerals to the soil. Again the mineral is taken by the plants. From the plants it is eaten by the animals, and from the animals and plants dead bodies again it is destroyed and decayed by microorganism, again changed into mineral, mixed in soil, taken by plants and by animals. The cycle continues. Bacteria named Rhizobium, which lives in the root nodules of the plants, especially leguminous plants. Leguminous plants example pea and gram. In this pea and gram plants, leguminous plants, roots, it has the nodules, small knot-like structures in which this Rhizobium bacteria lives and fixes the atmospheric nitrogen in the soil and thus makes the soil fertile. Next one, soil crops. Here different parts of our country have different types of soil. Already we know about different types of soil as clayey soil, loamy soil and sandy soil. Now we are going to see what are the crops growing or which have to be grown in clayey, loamy or sandy soil. First one, soil profile. Already we know that profile means arrangement of horizons, that is called a soil profile. The soil profile depends upon parent rock material, temperature, rainfall, wind and humidity, light. Then the cultivation of crops depends upon the types of soil. Here in clayey soil, wheat, gram and paddy can be grown. In loamy, lentils, pulses can be grown. In sandy, cotton. Sandy means sand plus loam. Here they mention sand plus loam. Sand plus loam is helpful to grow cotton plant. Here clayey retain much water, loamy drain water easily, sandy plenty of air and drain water easily. For example, paddy crops need or require high amount of water and allowed to stand the water at a depth of 1.5 to 2.5 centimeter at the time of seedling also, and after the planting of seedling also it needs water. The field should be wet and muddy. Next one, soil erosion. Here soil erosion means the removal of topsoil. The topsoil is getting removed by wind, water or by rain. The factors responsible for the soil erosions are deforestation, overgrazing of animals, poor farming methods, and last one, forest fires. Forest fires. At first, deforestation. Deforestation means the removal of forest or plants. That is called as deforestation. Here, why we are doing the deforestation? Because of the increase in population, we need the land for agriculture, construction, roads, dams, industries, and we are doing the deforestation. After doing the reforestation, water getting run off along with the soil, and water is not seeping down into the soil. The water just carried the soil and finally it mixes in the river. Next one, winds. Here in winds, the root system of the plant binds the soil together and percolating the water to prevent the soil erosion. If the deforestation had been done, the wind can easily shift the soil from one place to another place and then soil erosion takes place. Second one, overgrazing animals. If the animals keep on grazing the forest and plants, the land becomes barren lands and it was not hold the water and the winds eroded easily, so soil erosion takes place. Third one, poor farming methods. Plowing destroys natural structure of the soil, and if we didn't add humus, it reduces the water holding capacity of the soil and dryness of the soil takes place and it will blown by the winds, through which soil erosion takes place. Continuous cropping of land without crop rotation also reduces the soil fertility. Last one, forest fires. After the forest fires, there will be no trees and plants, so the soil directly exposed to winds and water, thus causes the soil erosion. Next one, prevention of soil erosion. First one, we have to plant more number of trees, that is called afforestation. We should plant trees not only in the areas where we already cut the trees, but in additional areas also we should plant trees. Next one, because of planting the trees, the strong winds in the fields can be reduced by planting. And crop rotation should be implemented, that improves the water holding capacity, and proper drainage and irrigation arrangement should be made in the field. And last one method to prevent the soil erosion is terrace cropping or step farming. Terrace cropping or step farming, it will be carried on the hilly areas to prevent the soil erosion. Here the land is made in the form of like staircases to avoid the soil erosion, that is called terrace cropping or step farming.